out of the Residential Tenancies Act, we have two sections there that I want to talk about. Section 32, it looks at the kinds of payments that may be required to pay for a residential tenancy agreement. Now, a person must not require, so an agent must not require or receive from a tenant any payment for or in relation to renewing, extending or continuing a residential tenancy agreement other than rent, a rental bond, any other amount or fees prescribed by the regulation. So, that's fairly clear. Section 48 of the Act, of the Residential Tenancies Act, then goes on to talk about how the landlord can recover rent expenses. So, so this is on top of what we've been told in Section 32 in terms of you can collect rent, a rental bond, or anything that the regs say. So a tenant must, at the written request of the landlord, pay to the landlord the amount of any fees. I'm going to read it off that straight out of the Act here. The amount of any fees paid to an authorised deposit-taking institution, bank, by the landlord as a result of funds of the tenant not being available for rent payment on the due date. So that's dishonour fees, late fees, account keeping fees. What you can't do is write a special condition in your lease and say it's a set amount. It's $30, it's $40, it's $10, it's $60, or $200, or, go, oh, well, we've had to, put a whole heap of work of this, so we're going to put some more in it. It is about the actual fee. So if you're going to put this into, your special conditions, then make sure that it is saying that you will only be charging the tenant the amount that the bank, and, probably name the bank, which is obviously the bank that they're paying it into. So it's the bank that you use for your trust account, and saying that, that the fees charged by that bank will be passed on to the tenant. Don't put an exact, no set fee in there, because one, it can change. Two, the bank may not charge it on certain occasions, or they may charge more or less. So, who knows where the bank will go with that at any point in time. And then you've got a clause in your residential tenancy agreement that actually fits, rather than is just at that point in time that's the price. So just be careful of what you're putting into your special conditions in the lease. Are there for the special conditions of that property. So in essence, that's what they're there for. Sometimes we can go way overboard in terms of writing special conditions that encompass every issue that we've ever had a problem with. And we need to be wary that, it's about the special conditions for that tenancy in that property at that time. So just be careful about how you're wording your special conditions, and that it's not taking over in those areas.